Hey there. I am still on this Olympic kick. I've got to tell you, I am going to continue to talk about what it takes to live a golden life. And I'm going to do that in just one moment. Hey there. Welcome to Stress Talk Live. This is the place where we help women over 40 to live healthier lives through strategic stress management and solution focused self care. I'm Marcyline Bailey and I am your host tonight, and I'm so glad that you joined me. I am still, as I said, on this Olympic high. I'm just amazed at uh, the things that we saw over a course of 2 weeks. It was amazing. It was phenomenal. And I want to talk about it as it relates to our lives today. But first, let me ask you to like, follow, and subscribe to ML Bailey Consultants, and you can do that on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, go to this link. This is where you can find out more about me and what I'm up to, what I'm doing. You can also sign up for our newsletter, which we'll talk about that another time. And this is my website. Please go there and you'll learn a lot more about me as well. Today's topic is on, as we continue our discussion on the three strong actions that women need to live a brilliant golden life. Now, if you were with me last week, or if you saw the replay, you know that I talked about these amazing Olympic athletes and how I was just my breath was taken away by their performances. I mean, if you saw the end of the men's basketball game, and our USA team won that basketball game. But did you see how Steph Curry hit those 3-point shots? I mean, it was like he couldn't miss. And when I say he hit those shots, it was nothing but net. For those of you who remember that McDonald's commercial with Larry Bird and Michael Jordan, okay, so I'm old enough to remember that commercial. We thought that was the bomb commercial back then. It still is. But the whole thing was, at the end, every time they take a shot, they would say nothing but net. But Steph showed us that he would hit those shots, and he hit it over a giant. Come on now, a giant. And he was hitting it nothing but net. He didn't hit the rim. It didn't bank off the backboard. It just went swoosh. That's phenomenal. And to do it in the clutch, that's phenomenal. Not only that, if you all saw Sifan Hassan, she was the woman from the Netherlands who won the marathon, and she did it in record time. Now, what was phenomenal about that to me is she just kept pace with the people who were in the lead, right? She just stayed, where she could be in the pack, in the lead. And as they started to fall off because they started to lose steam, she just kept her pace. And then, I won't say all of a sudden, she got to a point near the finish where she sprinted. She literally sprinted. Now, how in the world does anybody run over 20 miles and then all of a sudden they sprint to the finish line? Well, she did. She sprinted to the finish line. The other thing that's phenomenal about her is that she had already won two medals. She won two bronze medals in the 5,000-meter race and in the 10,000-meter race. That is, I can't even imagine. She ran almost 40 miles over the course of the Olympics. Imagine that. Here's one woman, here's one woman who ran almost 40 miles only to end up with a gold medal in the longest race. So, what do we really learn about this? Well, there's a lot of things I think that we learn about how to live a brilliant golden life just by watching these phenomenal athletes and what they've been able to accomplish. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to go into it right now. I'm also going to invite you that if you have a comment, just drop it in the comment section. Or if you'd like, if you're watching this on the replay, drop comments in. I'd like to hear from you. But let's get into our topic. Last week, I talked about having a gold medal life. And I talked about dream, dedication, and ditching the drama. I kind of like alliteration. Well, this is it's going to be a little different because we're moving from the D's to the C's. Yep, going to the C's. The first thing that I learned, or I shouldn't say that I learned, but it became more apparent to me and it stood out to me about these Olympic athletes is their commitment. The first thing that Steph Curry said when he was asked about hitting those three-point jumpers, he said, well, I get into the gym every day. What? That was the beginning of his answer. I get into the gym every day. And he said it so matter-of-factly, it was like, hey. What I heard that he didn't say is, I work out. I practice this. I do this daily. It's not something that I just do. I do it daily. In order for us to live a brilliant golden life that we desire, we have to have commitment. All of these athletes, the swimmers, the pole vaulters, the track and field stars, the basketball stars, the water polo stars, all of these athletes made a commitment to their sport. And their desire, they did it out of the love of their sport, but also they wanted to be the best. And so they put in the time. I mean, when they put in the time, it's not something that they just picked up. Many of these athletes started when they were very, very young, when they were little. Probably, they had just started walking and they picked up a basketball or they picked up the pole vault stick or what have you. But they started very young. The thing is, they had a clarity of vision. They were committed to that vision. They didn't veer. When they didn't just go traipsing off with their friends or, they spent time, lots of time working on their craft because they were committed. When I think about what Steph Curry said, I get in the gym every day. He's been doing that for the majority of his life, for the bulk of his 30 some odd years that he's been on earth. And probably from the time he could pick up a basketball or some kind of ball, he's been shooting baskets, right? He had a clarity of vision, maybe not necessarily to be an Olympic athlete, but to be a phenomenal basketball player. He loved the sport and he wanted to be a great basketball player, and he is. I think about LeBron James. It's the same. Of course, I have to throw my homeboy, out there. It's the same thing. All of these athletes, Katie Ledecky, she gets in the pool every day. She spends a phenomenal amount of time in the water. If we want to have a brilliant golden life like we desire, we need to be committed. And we need to be committed to our vision. What is the vision of that life? What does it look like? What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like to have that life? And I'm not just talking about having a big house or an expensive car or traveling. I'm talking about, I want to have a house that has 4 bedrooms, and I want it to have space so that we can all be in the room together and we can enjoy each other without sitting on top of each other. Or I want a house that is very cozy so that when we are in the room together, we can be in the room together. And although we may be sitting really close, that closeness, that proximity, that physical proximity is just an example of the closeness that we feel in our hearts. Having a clarity of what it looks like. What is the vision you have for your life? Do you see yourself walking past a bakery every morning and stopping and getting coffee and a fresh baked pastry on your way to work? Do you see yourself working 3 days a week and living the life that you've always wanted, traveling, doing crafts, cooking, baking, the things that you enjoy? What does the vision look like, smell like, feel like? And when you do those, what does it feel like? Yeah. How does it make you feel? Do you feel happy? Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel overjoyed? And you might say, well, Marcy, I don't know because I don't have it. Yes, but if you can think it and dream it, you can work towards it because it also takes action. The other thing is focusing on that vision like a laser. We get distracted by so many different things all the time, right? We get distracted by what we see other people doing or comparing ourselves to others. If necessary, put blinders on so that you can only see the vision that you have for your life. And then put it into practice. Put that vision into practice. How does that happen? Align your beliefs for that vision with your thoughts and with your actions. Everything has to align. Your beliefs around that vision, your thoughts, and your actions. That's what gets Katie Ledecky in the pool every day. That's what gets Steph Curry in that gym every day. He doesn't just not do it, right? He's been shooting those jumpers for a long time, but he still puts practice behind the vision he has. So think about this. What is your vision for your life that you want to commit to? Think about that. What does it look like, sound like, feel like? And weeding everything out that does not fit with that vision. These are some of the things that I talk to women about when I'm talking about their mission. I'll start with, what's the vision that you have? What does it look like? And tell me about it in detail. Oftentimes we don't have that kind of clarity. We speak in general. Well, I'd like to travel. Okay, where do you want to travel? Would you like to travel in the United States? Or do you want to travel abroad? And okay, if you want to travel abroad, where exactly? Or if you want to travel in the United States, where exactly? How long do you want to go for? Do you want to travel for a week at a time? Do you want to travel on the weekends? Do you want to travel for a month at a time? What does that look like, feel like, sound like? What is it like? Having a commitment to your vision where it's very, very clear. The next action that we should take is having confidence. Now, we need to have confidence in several different areas, in our knowledge, in our skills, as well as in our abilities. And I want to talk about our knowledge for a moment. We all have knowledge about certain things, right? Excuse me, I need to take a sip of tea. And that's pretty good. We all have knowledge about things that we have learned in school, um, in our education, our formal education, as well as things that we have learned um, outside of formal education setting. As it relates to our vision, we want to have confidence in our knowledge. So we want to learn the intricacies of getting to that vision. I am sure that Steph Curry knows every aspect of shooting a 3-point shot. He knows how he needs to hold the ball, how it needs to sit in the palm of his hand. He needs to know where his fingers should land on the ball. He needs to know where his arm needs to rest. He also needs to know how his stance should be. He not only needs to know that, but he also knows, I'm sure, where outside of that 3-point line he can stand, how hard he needs to shoot the ball, what the arc of the ball needs to be in order for it to swoosh in the net. And I'm just speaking, as somebody who can't hit a jump shot. But he has to know the technical parts of making that shot. He makes it look very easy, right? But he has the knowledge of all of the intricacies of making those shots. That's because he's been doing it a long time, but he's also probably studied it. He has studied it. He knows the science behind it. Katie Ledecky. I know I keep talking about those two because they're on my mind right now. Katie Ledecky knows the science behind diving into the water. She knows how low she needs to go, but not too low in order to get a good start. She also knows the exact time she needs to start her stroke. She knows that. And she knows exactly how far her arms need to come out of the water and how far they need to go under the water and how she needs to move them in order to get the best force to move her forward. There's a science. They've learned the intricacies. They know down to the second what it's going to take to do what they're doing. They've studied it. They've studied it while they've practiced. They've studied it before practicing, and they've studied it after practicing. They have reviewed and evaluated what they do. We need to do the same in order to reach our brilliant golden life. In addition to the knowledge that we have, we also need to have confidence in our skills. And our skills are the things that we've learned, the things that we've attained, the things that we can do well. It speaks to our competence. And we have different skills. We have technical skills, we have soft skills, we have transferable skills. and we have adaptive skills. And these are all things that we've learned and things that by which we are competent. But we need to have confidence in our skills. We also need to have competence in our abilities. Now, our abilities are really things that we can do that come naturally to us, things that we're capable of doing because they're just natural, right? It's not so easy to teach people abilities. It's just things that they have. A lot of the, excuse me, these Olympic athletes, pardon me, these Olympic athletes all have physical abilities that they use and that we see. They're natural, but they have had to learn additional skills. I'm sorry. They've had to learn additional skills, and they've also had to study, as we talked earlier. Okay, let me just do a couple of things here. I got choked, and now my eyes are watering. Okay. This isn't a difficult subject, but I'm having little problems here. So we have to have confidence in our knowledge, in our skills, as well as in our abilities. So I've just talked about commitment as it relates to the vision we have for our lives in order to reach that brilliant golden life that we desire. I've also talked about confidence as it relates to our knowledge, our skills, and our abilities, which will help get us to that point where we are living the brilliant golden life that we desire. Now, I'd like to share with you the third action. This action is about courage. Courage. Steph Curry. I'm going to go back to him. I'm going back. It took a lot of courage for him to take those 3-point shots like he did. It took a lot of courage because he could have missed them. He could have missed them. But he had confidence in his knowledge, his skills, and his abilities. And he was committed to getting that gold medal. But it took courage for him to take those shots. We need courage. Sometimes we hold ourselves back because we're fearful. We're afraid we're going to fail. We're afraid we're not going to get there. But if we never try, we're not going to get there. So we do need courage. We need courage to move forward. We need to be able to believe. We need the courage to believe that the improbable or the impossible is probable and possible. Thank you for that thumbs up. We need to believe that. We need to have courage to believe that if we always do the work, if we always get in that gym every day, if we're always jumping in that water every day, if we're always using our abilities, our skills, and the knowledge that we have to move closer to the vision of our lives, that we can get there. But we have to have the courage to try. We also need to have the courage to take the shot when we're facing a giant. That's what Steph did. Steph took that shot over that 6'7" guy, French player. Amazing. He took the shot. He got that arc just right. Nothing but net. We have to have courage to take the shot, even when there's a giant in front of us, knowing that we have the knowledge, the skills, and the abilities to make the shot, even under pressure. That's what living our brilliant golden life is about. Sometimes we're going to have to take chances. But if we're focused on the vision and we're focused on the task and the actions that will get us there, taking the shot, and we've done the work, taking the shot is just like another day in the gym. The second thing is we have to have the courage to be supported as well as to support. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is we need to have the courage to ask for help. And that help could be choosing a mentor, someone who has done something similar to what you're trying to do, or choosing a coach who can get you there. Yeah, Steph gets in the gym every day, and he's done that most of his life, right? But he has worked with coaches and he has worked with mentors who have guided him, who've helped him. All of these athletes have worked with people who have gotten help to get them where they are now. Those people don't get medals like the athletes, but they worked with them to get them there. If you want to live that brilliant golden life, you may need to get a mentor or a coach to help guide you there. The other thing is, I said, be supportive to support others. What that means is knowing in your heart that another person's accomplishments will not hinder your own. Another person's achievements really don't stop yours. Another person's successes won't stop what you're doing. We need to stop comparing ourselves to other people. When we compare ourselves to other people, it's like comparing apples to oranges. And granted, you might say, no, that's not so true. We're not comparing apples to oranges. Okay, then what I'll say is we're comparing oranges, navel oranges, to tangerines. Now, there's a difference between a navel orange and a tangerine. There's a difference in the flavor. There's a difference in the texture of the skin. There's a difference in size. There's a lot of differences in navel oranges and tangerines. What I'm getting to is we compare ourselves to others and our lives are totally different because we're unique. Therefore, our lives are unique. So when I say we need to support other people, we do, because their accomplishments, their achievements do not hinder our accomplishments and our achievements. And we can probably learn something from them. We need to cheer each other on, because by cheering each other on, it frees us up from things that encumber us and tie us down. It allows us to not be afraid. When we are negative towards someone, when they have achieved something or they've accomplished something, that's fear. That's not courage. When we work in courage, out of courage, we can openly be happy for someone else's success as they're moving towards their goals. We are talking about 3 strong actions women need to live a brilliant golden life. And these things, I know I'm harping on them, but I think they're so important because our Olympic athletes have demonstrated not only that they are awesome athletes, They have demonstrated a way to live life and to live it in the fullest. I've talked about having commitment to our vision, the vision of our lives. What does it look like, feel like, smell like, touch like, taste like? What is it like specifically? I've talked about confidence, having confidence in your knowledge, your skills, and your abilities that will help propel you to that life that you desire. I also talked about courage, having the courage to be supported by a mentor or a coach, as well as being supportive of others as they move forward towards their goals as well. We're talking about living a gold medal life, living a brilliant golden life. And we're going to continue that next time right here on Stress Talk Live. I'm so glad that you joined me today. I look forward to you being with me next time. I'm Marcyline Bailey. That's all for now. Take good care.